When gardeners talk about composting, cardboard rarely takes the spotlight. Yet this simple material can become one of the most powerful allies in building rich, fertile soil. The challenge, however, is that cardboard often decomposes much slower than kitchen scraps or grass clippings. Left untreated, it can sit stubbornly in your compost pile, delaying the results you want. But here's the secret. With the right practices, you can transform cardboard into nutrient-rich compost faster than you ever thought possible. If you've ever struggled with stubborn pieces of cardboard that just won't break down, this guide will give you everything you need to master the process. The very first step to speeding up decomposition is reducing the size of your cardboard. Whole sheets or boxes act like barriers in the pile, locking out air and water. When shredded into smaller pieces, the surface area increases dramatically, giving microbes more space to work their magic. Once shredded, soaking the cardboard is non-negotiable. Dry cardboard is tough and resistant, but when moistened properly, it softens and begins to separate, creating an ideal texture for decomposition. The best way to do this is to fill a bucket with water and submerge your shredded cardboard for at least 24 hours before adding it to your compost heap. This jump-starts the microbial action and ensures your pile doesn't dry out. Every successful compost pile thrives on the golden rule of balance. Cardboard is high in carbon, and while carbon is essential for structure and energy, too much of it will slow everything down. So, to create the perfect mix, you need to balance your cardboard with nitrogen-rich materials such as, fresh grass clippings, vegetable peels, or even coffee grounds. The sweet spot is roughly 25 to 30 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. If you're unsure, simply follow this formula. For every bucket of soaked, shredded cardboard you add, mix in at least 2 buckets of fresh green waste. This prevents the pile from turning into a dry, slow-moving mess, and instead produces a hot, active compost that works efficiently. Dumping all your cardboard in one spot is honestly the fastest way to suffocate your compost pile. Proper layering, it ensures airflow and encourages even microbial activity. Start with a base of twigs or coarse material to improve drainage. Then add a layer of soaked cardboard, and after that follow with nitrogen-rich greens. Just continue alternating layers until your pile is fully built. Always end with a green layer on top to trap moisture and heat inside. This layered approach, let me tell you, not only speeds up breakdown, but also prevents foul odours and keeps pests away. Microbes are living organisms, and like all living things, they need water to thrive. Cardboard is notorious for sucking up moisture, leaving the rest of the pile dry. To counter this, check the pile regularly and water whenever it feels too dry. The perfect moisture level feels like a wrung-out sponge, damp, but not dripping. If you want to supercharge the process, you can make a compost activator spray by mixing 1 cup of molasses, 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, and 10 litres of water. Spray this mixture evenly over each layer as you build your pile. The sugar from molasses energizes microbes, while vinegar helps soften the cardboard fibres. Cardboard alone does not bring many microbes to the table. By adding a thin layer of soil or finished compost, you introduce billions of microorganisms directly onto the surface of the cardboard. These are the real workers that digest and transform the material into humus. A simple trick is to sprinkle a few handfuls of finished compost between each layer of cardboard and greens. This inoculation method dramatically reduces decomposition time because you are essentially planting an army of decomposers exactly where they are needed. If you want results in record time, don't just layer, mix. Alright, so you'll want to combine your soaked, shredded cardboard with some fresh, high nitrogen materials before you start layering them in the pile. You know, grass clippings are especially powerful because they heat up quickly and really maintain microbial activity. Another excellent option is kitchen scraps, blended into a slurry. All you need to do is add your scraps and a bit of water into a blender, then mix the resulting liquid with shredded cardboard. This combination honestly creates an environment that microbes attack immediately, and it often cuts decomposition time in half. Even the best prepared pile will stall if left untouched. Cardboard, being fibrous, tends to clump together and form mats that suffocate microbes. To prevent this, turn your pile every 7 to 10 days. Use a garden fork to bring material from the outer edges into the centre. This not only redistributes moisture but also ensures oxygen reaches all layers. Oxygen is the lifeblood of aerobic decomposition, and without it, your pile will slow down or even rot anaerobically. Regular turning transforms a sluggish pile into a dynamic, steaming hub of microbial activity. Sometimes even a well-built pile can benefit from an added push. Natural accelerators work wonders in breaking down stubborn cardboard. One of the most effective is a yeast-based solution. Mix 2 tablespoons of baker's yeast and 2 tablespoons of sugar in 5 litres of warm water. Then pour this mixture evenly over your cardboard layers. Yeast feeds rapidly on sugars and triggers a microbial bloom that boosts heat and decomposition. Another great option is urine diluted at a ratio of 1 part urine to 10 parts water. It's an excellent source of nitrogen and can be safely added to the pile to accelerate the breakdown of carbon-heavy materials like cardboard. Many gardeners worry that adding cardboard will attract pests, but the problem usually arises from poor management. Always remove tape, glue, or any glossy coatings from the cardboard before composting. Stick to plain brown cardboard only. Layering correctly and keeping nitrogen balance in check ensures that the pile heats up enough to repel pests. As for odours, they only occur when the pile goes anaerobic. If you notice a foul smell, it's a clear sign your pile needs more air and balance. Add greens, turn thoroughly, and adjust moisture to restore healthy conditions. Now, even with all these best practices, composting still requires patience. Cardboard will never vanish overnight, but when shredded, soaked, balanced with greens and managed actively, you can see it transform into dark, crumbly compost in as little as 8 to 10 weeks. You know, the real secret here is consistency. Checking moisture, turning regularly, and feeding the pile with the right balance. Every pile is just a little bit different, and by observing closely, you'll quickly learn how to fine-tune your own process for the fastest results. Cardboard may seem like a slow and stubborn addition to your compost, but when managed properly, it becomes one of the most effective tools for creating nutrient-rich soil. Shred it, soak it, balance it with greens, layer it correctly, and keep your pile active. And don't forget to add microbial boosters like soil, finished compost, or natural accelerators to cut down time even further. With these best practices, you'll no longer see cardboard as a hurdle, but as a powerful ingredient in your soil-building journey. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe to Growth Hub Central Crops and share it with your fellow gardeners. Together, we can turn simple waste into thriving, fertile soil and grow healthier crops season after season.